Alright guys, they're doing a last warm-up and then they'll get started. Sorry, this is throwing everything together last second, but I should be good to go. Alright, so this is another round of 32 match. This is the last match between pre-playoffs. Whoever wins this game is going to go into the double elimination bracket and be in the playoffs. So it's a big important match, and we have two well-worthy players. On the left side we have whipemerald, top flight TF player from Japan, and on the right we have Poke, who's from Taiwan, and he's been doing a lot to get this tournament up and running, so we really appreciate that. So let's get into the match. Right now Whippe is in a very safe position, and I think Poke as well, but he has to dig through a lot more. I think Whippe is going to send a couple back-to-backs at him. Oh, I should put some music on. Let me just put on whatever this is. Let me turn that down. Okay, Whippe won the first round. So his score is -3, so the score that I have on the bottom should be correct. Alright, let's see what they do. What kind of strategies? They're both starting out with the same perfect clear, and they both get it. And they both accept the garbage as well, so they're going to be digging down. Poke had the line piece, and he had the line open. It's really unfortunate that he didn't get that there. So it's not 2-0 for Whippe. So, see, what is there to talk about? I wasn't really prepared to stream. I was just getting ready for the Aitsu match tomorrow, but it's a good test to even get it up and running tonight. So, it looks like Whippe is doing some fancy T-spins over his stack. Thought he was going to make that into a Tetris, but he decides just to down stack. And I think he kind of got a little confused with his T-spins there, whereas Poke kind of has an odd thing going on, but he seems to be fairly safe, and Whippe dug through all the mess on his end, so the little hesitation on Poke's side actually worked to his advantage there. Kind of misdrop over his T-spin there. He should try to clear this pretty quickly before he gets into any trouble, but I think he might have time. He needs an O block to clear that, and he gets it. I think he should be doing alright here. He's pretty dangerously high, but Whippe is setting up some pretty big, nasty back-to-backs. He's trying to get a J block there, but he didn't get it in time. He got him back-to-back at a few blocks later. That's kind of... sometimes you get even though it's a 7 bag, you kind of don't get what the piece you need till the very end, and that can sort of ruin your momentum. So Poke is kind of getting pressured pretty high, but he's doing well on downstack. He covered his hole a little bit with that S block, but he turned that into a T-spin, which does well in pressuring Whippe. Setting up a forecast T-spin double there. He actually didn't get another one. He just dropped a T-block into a nice little overhang, or overhangless space. Huge spike by Poke, but Whippe is able to survive by just quickly downstacking. And now some little trouble brewing on Poke's side, where he made a kind of misdrop and he wasn't able to get through it. So that was actually a really close map, but Whippe goes up 3 games to none here. Oh, I haven't updated it. I forgot to update, sorry. Alright, so Whippy is starting out with a TD cannon and Poke a perfect clear. So Whippy's going to accept that. He's going to misdrop the second of the TSDs, and that's a really tough misdrop. He does a really nice spin there, but he's taking a lot of pressure. Beautiful downside. He got all the pieces he needed in just the right time. He was very close to dying there, but he turned into... well, he died anyway. So Poke takes his first win. That was a huge amount of pressure, by the way. That was like 44 lines in like 24 seconds, which is ridiculous. Great pressure off the back of the perfect clear there. And Whippy couldn't do anything but cancel a lot of that. So they're both starting out with the same misdrop opener, but Poke has transferred that into a pretty nice 6-3 stack. Where, I mean, not Poke, but Whippy. And Poke is going to need to downstack this a little bit, clear open his hole. He does that pretty easily, where Whippy is setting up some nice back-to-backs on his end. Nice little prop from Poke. Kind of blocks his hole there. He should be able to prop that out, and he does pretty nicely. So let's see what's going on. So Whippy's kind of high up, and he hasn't really sent much in the last few lines. He's just clearing some singles until he gets into a rhythm. And nice downstack combo, clears his field, and now he's in a really nice spot. Poke should be able to make this. No, he doesn't. He decides not to go for that, to make that a Tetris, and he just downstacks. Shows a lot of respect to his opponent, not trying to go for an extra attack when you're sort of high up. You don't want to get spiked out randomly. Really clean field on his end, though. Some really nice clean Tetrises, whereas Whippy is not able to dig to his hole, and even though he sent more lines, he falls there. So Poke is making a pretty close game, 3-2. So we have another perfect clear setup from Poke. He misses it, so he just stacks up, whereas Whippy goes for... actually, he overshot his overhang there, and he's going to have to cancel that. So he's just going to build over that unfortunate misdrop, and he should be able to clear through it now. He makes it a nice combo to counter what Poke is doing on his end, which was kind of like a informal 3-wide. He kind of didn't get much of it, and he's kind of in trouble, especially after that misdrop. Spins that J in, which is going to help him, and it helps also that Whippy has some pretty awful misdrops on his end. So now I think Poke has the advantage because he was able to clean through his much more quickly than Whippy is, and Whippy has some pretty nasty garbage he has to dig through. Pretty much dig race at this point. So now Poke is just setting up some back-to-backs, and he has a really nice field to continue them, where Whippy needed an S or a Z spin there, and he didn't get it fast enough, and he's not going to survive. So now it's tied up, 3-3, and Poke had pretty good output there, and Whippy spent most of that game basically digging through his own disasters. This is actually the same playlist I was listening to when I was playing, who did I play? How am I earlier? So, DT Cannon on Poke's side, and is a really nice field to keep that going. He received a Tetris in a perfect spot. He's going to make that a nice little downstack combo. Looks like he even got a good amount. He's going to make that into a back-to-back TSDs over it. So, some misdrops pretty high up, but he sent a lot of APM, so hopefully he can recover this. But Whippy has such a nice field that I don't think Poke can get out of this. He showed a good use of an S-spin there, but another misdrop, and that might just do it there. He hung on for a while, but that victory goes to Whippy, so it's 4-3. Comeback, he was tied. This score right here is inaccurate. It's Whippy -3. He won all the pregame warm-up matches. A tournament, yes. This is the Tetris Tournament Online 5. I am 0T commentating. Sorry, I might have should have mentioned that. Poke's pretty high up, but actually he blocked his hole there. That might come back to harm him. Yeah, he should have kept his hole open just in case he got that eye block, but he covered it up, and Whippy takes another match. It's 5-3. So they're both starting with perfect clears. It looks like Whippy got his, whereas Poke missed his, but he has a really nice clean garbage hole. Let's see, he's just gonna downstack it a little bit just to get into a more manageable height. He does. I really don't like what he did with the T block there. He kind of took a T-spin zero or T-spin mini and ended up blocking his hole on Poke's end. I mean, and he was never able to recover from that. So. I think it was a little too high up to even consider doing the T-spin mini there, especially since it doesn't send anything, and he just managed to block 2 lines over his hole. So perfect clears on both ends. Whippy got his again, but Poke missed, and he's gonna have to dig a little bit to get to his hole. He should be able to get to it, and he accessed it pretty nicely, and he has some room for some nice back-to-backs. But Whippy already has a really nice clean, what is that, 5-4 stack going. And some misdrops in Poke's end into that. So that's 7-3. Whippy has won 4 in a row. Perfect clears, setups on both sides, exact identical. Whippy canceled out the first one, tried to go for a second, but he accepted some lines from Poke. He has a really nice Tetris opening up. Maybe I should skip this song. From like a movie, so there's like screaming in the background. Poke used the J block and he put it over his hole, which really hurt his chances. I think he was dead either way, but that would have delayed him even further getting to that garbage hole. It's 5 in a row from Whippy. So TKI on Whippy's side. This is the first time we saw that standard setup. Gets a couple T-spins out of it. Continues with some nice prop TSD there. DT cannon on Poke's side. He gets both of the T-spins. Kind of blocked his hole. I don't know if he had the right pieces there. Really cool forecast in Whippy's end, but he cancels it out. Must not have gotten the right pieces. Poke is really safe down pretty low, whereas I say that and he misses his J block. He does a nice little spin and he should be able to recover from this. Whippy has to dig a little bit, but he's sending some garbage throughout. Nice little Z spin, clean up this hole on Poke's side, and looks like Poke might have a little advantage here, but Whippy's building some attacks, and he cleans up his field really nicely. Misdrop on Poke's side, and it looks like he's struggling to move the pieces over the block, so that's going to do it there. TKI on both ends. Poke decides to misdrop his. He should be able to survive pretty easily. Another misdrop though. Cleans it up really nicely. And we got some garbage flinging around right now. Let's see what to make of this. Whippy has a really nice clean field. He's going to take a T-spin. Wow, that was beautiful. He spun the eye block in so he could take the Tetris before the T-spin triple. Very nice setup. Keeps the back-to-back and keeps it pretty safely, safe height to do that TSD or TST. Poke's end, he survived it really easily, and he's very low, just clearing out some extra lines so he can get a nice flow going. Some nice back-to-back sends from Whippy. Pressures Poke really high, and he misdrops, but recovers well enough to survive there. Whippy does a T-spin single into a J-spin. No extra bonus for all spins here, unfortunately, but gonna have to take a T-spin 0 because he misdropped on Whippy's end. Poke is speeding up a little bit, and he spun his T-spin 1 extra, which kind of hurts his field. If he would have spun that normally, he would have had a really nice clean field to take some more back-to-backs. Misdrop on Whippy's, and gonna slow him down a little bit. He's trying to cancel with some garbage, but he looks to be in a lot of trouble. If Poke can send another Tetris, he probably has this. Just get an eye block. Okay, he got the eye block, and that should be it. Oh no. Whippy's surviving. Oh, okay. Whew. Poke is making that one really close there. So that's 9-4. Whippy is still up, but Poke takes one. Let's see if he can fight back after losing what was 6 games in a row. We got Hebomai wishing Poke Dialga or good luck in this match. Both are doing perfect clears. Both get it, and both accept the garbage. Both really clean fields, and they're going to see a lot of sends going on here. Actually, Poke decides to just downstack a little bit. He's kind of afraid of the pressure that Whippy is building up. Poke decides to make a T-spin triple there. Not the cleanest of setups, but it does send a little bit of lines. Whippy's field, I think, looks better at this point, especially now that Poke's misdropped over the misdrop, so that's 3 back-to-back misdrops if you want to count them. He's still alive though, and he's using that T-spin to cancel, and he actually made it through that pretty well. I don't know if he has the right pieces to get out of this though. He does not, and Whippy takes the 10th match. Alright. Oh, I gotta fix the 10. We got another perfect clear on Whippy's side. Poke survived it really well, and has a nice clean field on his side. Little misdrop, he slides a eye block in there. He had to waste an eye block. He does a little... No, I don't know if he's gonna get out of this. Whippy's sending too much pressure for him to clear through that. That's 11-4 whipemerald. Alright, we have another perfect clear on Whippei's side. He gets it, he executes it really nicely, and Poke executes his patented misdrop opener. He's not able to survive it. I thought he could have maybe skimmed out a couple lines, but he missed out on that. So now Whippei is up 12-4. Alright, another perfect clear on Whippei's side. He doesn't see it, so he decides to build up. Poke has a small misdrop on his end. He should be able to clear this. He takes a T-spin single, while Whippei downstacks a couple back-to-back sends into it pretty nicely. Ooh, I wasn't even able to finish my thought there. Whippei spikes him with a T-spin double. 13-4. Alright. Okay, we have Mr. T-spin set up on Whippei's end. He missed out on one of the blocks. I don't know exactly which piece he missed. He missed either the L or the J, and it cost him. Poke wins his 5th match. Oops. So it's now 13-5. So DT cannon on Poke's end, really nicely stacked, really quick, into a small 4-wide combo. Sending some good pressure, but Whippei is in a good position to cancel all that. But Poke is not backing off, and he's sending a lot of dirty garbage. So Whippei's going to have to dig through a ton, and it looks like it's a pretty bad field to do so. So Poke's got to send some stuff here, and he might have a good shot at winning, but some really nice downstacking on Whippei's end, and I think he's going to survive this. Little misdrop over his hole on Poke's side. It's going to need a lot of eye blocks to get through this. And it looks like Whippei's turned the tide there, and he's won his 14th match. Alright, so now it's game point for whipemerald. 14-5. We have some basic TSDs, or T-spin doubles on both ends. A little mini 3 combo or so from Poke. Kind of blocks his hole with that T-block. I think that was a misdrop. It's kind of unfortunate because I don't think he's going to get out of it, and that's GG's. (15-5) final score. Well played, guys. Congratulations on getting to the playoffs, whipemerald. Good job. And I think that's the only match I have for you right now. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.